Hi everyone, welcome to Glowing Secrets powered by Glow. Everything has its own beauty, but not everyone sees it. Well, I have a gentleman with me today who sees beauty in everything. Whatever he touches turns into masterpieces. So let me welcome Michael Wijesuriya. That name alone is enough as an introduction. Michael, what is beauty to you? How do you see beauty?
Well, I think to me beauty is all about seeing something within a person, because there are people who are, we speak made prettier than the other, but it's how you perceive beauty.
Yeah.
Somebody could look extremely beautiful to you, where I may not think the same.
Yeah,
It's
different.
It's different. It's, you know, like taste, food or anything for that matter, clothing, taste, anything. So beauty to you can look the color of the skin, the size, the shape of bodies, everything can be how you perceive it. Now I love tan skins, dark skins.
Yeah.
Even when I choose
I've
models,
noticed,
I love.
You always have a different
I always
approach
go,
to
and I
things.
also you search that, because especially in society here, you know, if you're like little darker skin tone, you tend to be pushed aside.
Minority.
And then people go, why do you select that person? How come that skin tone, all that? So to me, it's like getting that person, building an image within them and bringing out their inner beauty. So it's not only clothing. Like when I work with a client or a bride or even a model, it's the inner beauty you bring out.
Yeah.
Because then
You work with the person.
with the person, because then that way the clothing also looks prettier and beautiful, because they love to wear what you give them. It's all about making, it's not the price or the glamour in it or anything, but to bring out the glamour which is within the person, so that way they feel, you feel good about yourself. I mean, why do you dress? Why do you wear jewelry? Why do you wear makeup? Why do you wear nice clothes? You know, it's all about taste. Yeah. It's like that.
So basically make the person happy and the beauty will come naturally. Well, Michael, you have worked with a lot of beauty queens from the time that you have started till now. Things have changed a hell of a lot. So what differences do you see in beauty? How has it changed?
I think the situation is not the thing that we would like to see, because when I came to the industry, it will be 30 years next year, and I can remember even as a kid when I was not even in the industry, I have been to beauty pageants because of, you know, family or somebody, or maybe the artistic instinct in me that took me to places like that, and the caliber that came forward, the beauty of the actual beauty pageants, you know.
You can call them beauty pageants.
I know when a contestant came out, you're like, wow, and there's cheering, and you know, nobody knew who was going to win, nothing. But take a beauty pageant now, I mean, just face value. I mean, nobody's, you know, before the pageant, you sometimes know who's going to win.
Who's the winner?
Right? There's so much of internal politics as to who gets involved in the hair and makeup, who gets in the clothing, and you know, it's all based upon who you like within, you know, who the framework of who is doing it, not who you should have there. You know, now generally if I do something, you were a part of it. I celebrated 25 years of fashion with just a mega party. You know,
have fun.
1,000 guests. I had a few clothing items, but I wanted everybody to come. I brought in everybody from the first staff member of mine to the first model, model for me, and I brought, you know, so there was a lot of, you know that everybody enjoyed it, because it was not about the clothing I did, or it was just bringing in some models who worked with me on that day. Where people said we've seen each other after years. Models got together, and that's such a wonderful, you know. So that is what beauty is, you know? And that's what fashion is, you know. It's not all about, you know, how expensive your garment is or how expensive your sari is, or it's nothing like that. You know, fashion is also ultimately the wearer, not the clothing. You know, so you need to actually, it's our thing. So even in a beauty pageant, sometimes you go for face value, you know. You just look at the beauty of the person on the stage, or, you know, she's judged like that, and then you wonder, oh, you know. But take her after that, you know, see where has she gone, what has she, you know.
A lot of them are not heard of.
Yeah, not heard of. Then you go to a world pageant and they're not even, I mean,
seen.
Yeah, they're just unheard of, not spoken. But there are a few who have gone, who have made it, you know, in some impact and come back. And they've taken that further. It's not like, you know, beauty with a purpose, and they do this thing for that 1 year, it's forgotten. You know.
True.
Look at the caliber. I don't mean to demean anybody, but the standardization should be brought back, and I think there should be, like in India, I think there should be Miss World, Miss Universe, and Miss Asia should be one pageant.
One pageant, one big pageant.
One big
and 3
pageant.
winners.
So even if all of them get together and do it in 3, because in that way, because Sri Lanka doesn't have that many beautiful, intelligent girls to come forward for 3, 4, 5 pageants.
There's many more.
Yeah. So you need to bring forward that one pageant and then send the best
To
out there.
represent the
And what happens is there are so many beautiful young ladies, educated, who can really hold their own at an international pageant. But why don't they come forward? Because the nitty-gritties that happen within the pageant. So they're not looking for beauty here. It's an extended thing that goes beyond that. Sometimes we don't understand. So for us, it's very difficult being in the beauty industry. We are there just because of beauty. I've sat on judging panels where things have gone wrong.
Yeah, many a time.
And I stood up,
Yeah.
you know, for what has happened.
Diverting from that, Michael, let's talk about your creativity. You make just simple things extraordinary. Like when you see a fabric, you know what to do with it. What inspires you?
I think first time we start off because I was not fashion inclined at all. I studied completely different thing. I studied overseas, came back, and I was in the hotel industry for a while. And something that I taught at a very young age from values of my mom were like, no matter what you take up to, excel in whatever you do. Just don't do something and don't let it drop by the waist and think, oh no, that's not for me. So I have professional teaching qualifications in music, which I've done, you know, all that. As you know, I do motor racing and I have been very successful. So everything I undertook to do in life, I wanted to excel. Otherwise, I wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, that's a very good quality.
So that's something that, and it's something I think it's a good thing for the younger generation, that don't say no to anything. Until you do it, you don't realize how good you are at it.
Exactly.
You can't ever assume that you are not going to be successful or nothing. So it's the same way that, you know, it's an amazing thing because I never learned fashion
design.
I never learned hair, beauty, nothing. But there are certain people who inspired me. And the late Mrs. Vernon Fernando, my sister's wedding wear, she's the one who actually taught me. I was a hotelier in the US. And she taught me to give that up and come here. This is your line.
Oh, so she saw,
that
initial stages
and
of
that. So then that is what I did. And then, with all due respect, Ramji Rahman, because I've known him for years, and I used to always, you know, go to the salon just for my haircuts or whatever it is. And then watching him, something, you know, sparked within me that I started following him, and he's the very first person who even taught me to drape a sari or something. And also from there, when I actually got into the industry, I never did hair and makeup. I took on one of the Asian championships that were happening here.
Yeah, I remember.
And I did no makeup, I knew nothing, but I sat with Cheryl Gundrat. And she gave me like 2 classes, and she said, just do this. She said, your creativity will take you through. And I was first runner-up in the Asian Championships, and I won the fantasy thing in that. So that gave me encouragement to know that, you know, there's something within me that can be brought out. And that's how I started off into fashion. But to date, the inspiration comes from God above. I mean, it's amazing. You lay your head on the pillow and you go to sleep, and sometimes bang, something hits you. I generally keep a notepad by my bedside. And if it can be a weird, crazy idea, but I just put it on paper because sometimes you forget fast. So if something remains in my mind, I always feel that it's something worth having. And if you've seen, which you have seen, creations for me does not stem from what somebody else has done.
Yeah, because it's something completely
I don't go
different.
by, and you know, people say, oh, who is your best, who is the designer you follow, what are the fashion trends? I said, I'm in the same industry. I mean, so why should I be following another fashion designer? I should have my own trend. I'm not here to copy something or, you know, mimic somebody else's thing they're doing, you know. So there has been this where people have said, oh, that's a Michael Wijesuriya creation. Or that's a good copy.
Yeah, even today I'm in a Michael Wijesuriya creation,
so
and everyone notices it.
For me, it is all about, you know, making the person feel good and not my outfit look good. Because your outfit looks good if the person wears it well.
Yeah, true.
What more, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I think to be successful, and I can say that with not batting an eyelid, that I have been successful 29 years in the industry, and it has never been backward. I've always moved, and some people now think, oh, he's stuck up, you know, he has lost it. Or it's not that, but just that when there's a hierarchy of moving up in life,
move forward.
You move forward. You don't want to take a step back, and you know, just to even please somebody, don't take a step back. You can take it in a different way and help somebody or do something, but not something that jeopardizes your future in the industry.
Yeah, of course you have an image to maintain, and many more steps ahead. Michael, talking about the younger generation today, they are instant fame has got into their head and they want to become famous quickly. You as a mentor, I've seen a lot of youngsters start their career with you in your fashion shows. So what's the advice you give them about the industry, about beauty, about maintaining themselves?
One thing I've learned is, like, I've had about at least 20 people who have, you know, from all walks of life, who have come and learned from me. And one thing I'm really proud to say is that they've actually taken the right path. You know, whoever came and worked with me, studied with me, I have 2 or 3 people who came, who were working with other people, but came and learned with me that nitty-gritties of, you know, even humanity, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
That it's not all
That's
about,
very important.
you know,
Yeah.
and they're doing really well in the field, in the, you know, overseas and things like that. So it's not all about, you know, who you are. It's the impact you make on society and the industry you're in. Today I can walk out of the street and be recognized as one of Sri Lanka's, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Because I worked hard. The time we started Rozanne, we didn't have the net or media, nothing. You know, it was all here.
And hard work.
And no classes, nothing. Can you what do you do? Google, see, everything is there.
Snap of a finger, yeah.
Nothing, you know, and this is this instant fame that has ruined the younger generation, because everything has been so easy for them that, I mean, everything is on a platter. You know?
Yeah.
Parents pay thumping sums for education and fashion, but I feel if you don't have an inner love,
a trend, no?
if you don't have an inner love for it, you don't have the passion for fashion, you are no fashion designer.
That's a good.
It's not on paper.
Yeah.
It's not on paper. Even a hairdresser or a beautician, you know. I can bring up one instance here. Good example here is Ramjira. You know him personally. With hair, I mean, it's just, you know, and it's done.
Yeah.
Right? There are people like that.
Works magic.
And like, I got a lot of, I think in the industry, I took leaps with working with Raman Fernando, because she was respected in the field, you know, different caliber, and you know. So when I started working with her, it upstaged everything for me, and I learned so much, you know, out of them. And we worked so much together, you know, competitions and shows. And I think we must have done the largest bridal show in Asia. When we did the bride, we did about 110 brides, just Ramani's salon.
It was one of my first shows
too.
Yeah.
And you know, so, and nobody does that anymore.
No, not in that caliber.
No, not that caliber. And that was one of the biggest shows we had. I can remember after the show sitting, you know, Ramani with her feet up on, we were so tired. And we had heaps of flowers, all the bouquets. Just heaps, you know, because so many brides.
So satisfying, not to even talk about it.
You know, but here people do a little thing and it's like, you know, Guinness Book. They've done this to get in, you know. I mean, we would have had broken enough of records in the last 30 years that I've been in that. You know, people like, I mean, look at people like Wijesuriya, you know, the late Wijesuriya Kanawat. I was really touched because when they celebrated his 50 years, I think it was at their RFM, and they wanted 10 designers to do something like a fashion fantasy type of thing. And I can remember what I did. And when Kolu interviewed him there, and one of the questions was, who have you been inspiring? Who have you thought to be somebody who's made a real impact in the fashion industry? Who's the one person who's made an impact in Sri Lankan fashion? He gave my name and I was shocked.
Wow.
You know, and I was not there at the time. I was in the changing room getting my model done, and my dad, my sister, and all there, and I said, gosh, that was like, that was like, you know, to hear it from him. Yes. Because he's a man who knew,
such a legend.
he knew everything about fashion and all that. And
he was one of the first designers in Sri Lanka.
I mean, where we are today is because of people like that.
Yeah, that's true.
They really set everything right for us. But how many people respect that?
Yeah.
I mean, I realize now I'm running, this is my 29th year. The younger generation does not give you
the due respect.
Not that we expect them to fall, you know, it's not
fall
like
on
that.
Their feet, yeah.
But we still respect. I still respect everybody. I said, Senakari Silva.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course.
True artist. I mean,
gifted people.
Gifted in every sense.
Yeah.
Even the words he speaks, you know.
Yes, of
even
course.
through choreography or something,
yeah.
you know, his attitude towards
you
fashion.
Learn so much.
You learn so much, you know.
That's true. That's true.
You never get offended, nothing with
no,
the way
not
you do
at all.
because you know you're there to. I came from the US on holiday and I just for a gig I just did Model of the World with him.
Oh,
Model
is
with him,
yeah.
Just and now when I look back, that helped me with what I do now.
Yeah, yeah.
Even to show a girl on the ramp, walk this way, walk that way, do this, do that.
You've done it,
yeah,
so you know.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
a training from someone like him. What more do you want?
Of course, of course. Michael, you have been a chef. You started as a chef, you said, but of late you have diverted into your old passion again.
It's like this, like certain times in life, you're taken through certain phases.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to sort of slow down a little bit because the fashion industry got so diluted here. I want to do something else which I had a passion for. So I just thought I'd take back, to this of my culinary expertise.
Nobody will expect you to go to the kitchen and cook.
That's like Rozanne, I race.
Yeah, nobody will expect you to be a racer.
I've had so much people come up to me and go, are you the one who dresses brides? It's completely. So the food thing came into me as in with COVID, and I think through this we have learned so much in life. I mean, it's back, feet on the ground.
Square number one.
And everybody's the same: black, white, fat, thin, beautiful, pretty, ugly. No matter what, we are all one and the same. In my opinion, as my religion, what I feel is that we've been taught so much, and every religion teaches us the same thing.
True.
But this is, that we are all human. We come the same way, we live the same way. The period that we are on this earth derives what and where we are going to. This is the time we have learned that no man is lesser than the other.
True.
And look at what goes on. So it is. I always wanted to start this whole experience of home dining, healthy. I'm not talking about health food, but healthy food.
Healthy food.
So healthy as in, if you're doing meats and all that, you must use fresh meats. All that, and things like that where you can warm your meat in the house and eat it, and it's tasty. Fresh.
Yeah.
So I took that on, and just as a gimmick, with my sister, we just decided to start this and see how it goes to go. Like my fashion, this thing, my fashion also started because I came here on a journey to see my father who was sick.
Yeah.
And my dad said, till I get better, try this fashion thing so that
you stuck onto it.
Maybe you can, at least sort of, it clicked immediately. The same way this clicked.
Food.
Yeah. And from the day we started, it has been one order after the other, one order after the other. So it has been really good. And I think, I give it all to the glory to God, because whatever I was told by my mentor in life, who is my pastor, he said, God has blessed you with so many things you can do.
Yeah.
He said, don't put your eggs in all your eggs in one basket. He said, reach out, do stuff.
Be
try something. He said, use it. He said, did you ever think that the bridal marks will come to like a standstill?
Yes.
Because we think people will get married and married and married. But, don't stick to one thing. Whatever you have the opportunity to do, just do it. As long as it's an honest way of living.
Yeah. See, Michael, talking to you each time calms me down. You have this thing about you that will calm any person and get this person into a different level. It's so inspiring talking to you. Thank you so much for being on my show. It's been lovely talking to you, and I think I learned a lot myself. I mean, I've known you for a long time, but still I'm learning. So thank you so much once again, and it's lovely to talk to you each time I talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Glowing Secrets will be back with another celebrity. Stay tuned with us.